Action.
Hi, I'm Dr. Steve Pearlstein. I'm here with Dr. Robert Jones. We're going to talk about the Formulary Task Force Committee. If you've been following along, after the first bill was passed in 2008, a Formulary Task Force Committee was created and we began to meet. Dr. Jones, you were a part of that. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was from the first meeting. I think I only missed one or two meetings out of a whole year worth of a lot of interprofessional relationships that was going on. And part of this process was building relationships. It was quite a process and quite a learning experience. What the task force was tasked to do was to break down what minerals, vitamins, or natural substances that we could use with the advancing techniques that we were requesting. So the first question came was, what is a natural substance? We spent months on a definition of natural substances. It was very, very difficult, because when we said, well, a natural substance was anything that was occurring in nature or derived from something in nature. The pharmaceutical representative there appropriately said, hey, anything of a carbon base is a natural substance. So that means that's pretty well everything in the world. So we really had a difficult time finding a common ground of what a natural substance was. So we kind of put that in the back burner and went, okay, why don't we see how you want to use these natural substances? So at that point in time, we went from just the pharmacy and the chiropractors getting together and included the medical community. The medical board was brought in and represented from the medical society.
Right.
And as you remember, Dr. McGuire from the medical society said, look, we'd be really comfortable if you could present double-blind placebo studies on everything that you want to use in an advanced practice nature. And I don't know if you recall how that went, but I would certainly like to see how was that?
I recall how that went. It was actually a rather contentious number of discussions. It was very clear to me that they were trying to have us conform to a particular standard, yet when we did introduce this in discussion, they were not, in many of the studies on drugs, conforming to the same standards. So we were actually very frustrated. We wanted to go ahead to do things like homeopathics, and yet there's only, I think, about 3 or 4 studies that are placebo-controlled, double-blind, and essentially the meetings, we didn't really get anywhere because of that.
And it was even to the point where I can recall in those meetings where it's talking about the homeopathy injections, the doctors in the pharmacy going, well, that's hocus pocus stuff. Why do you even want to do that? That's not real medicine.
Right.
And they didn't even have an understanding of the power of homeopathy or the power of natural medicine. And that in itself was a barrier I personally don't feel we ever broke through. And it really made even their honest attempt, and I believe they honestly attempted to fulfill the role of approving a formula. They just were so uncomfortable with it that they could not proceed and even come to any terms of anything on those formula. Matter of fact, at the end of the task force, I don't think we had more than a few things they agreed on.
We agreed on very few. We did make a little bit of progress, but it was really difficult. And we concluded from this that we were not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get where we wanted to go. And that, what became apparent as that we're going to have to go back into the legislature again. And that's exactly what we did the next year.